Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 1v1 on Seraphim VII Site 3.11a. Who the hell came up with the name for this map? I demand to know who wrote this bullshit. Any other map could have been chosen. It would have had a much simpler name. This took me like 7 goes to get right in recording. This is unacceptable. Gas Power Games, unacceptable. Alright, let's get on with it. So over here in the right side, not corner, right side, we have the red Cybran, xFlowGrattix. I do apologize in advance if that is pronounced incorrectly. I'm sure you'll let me know if it was or wasn't in the comment section below. And I'm not too sure whether those X's on the beginning and end of your name are silent or just for effect, but for the purpose of this video, I'll be referring to him as Flow, because you all know we all love the ebb and flow. Yes, ladies, the ebb and flow. Over here we have on the left side the blue UEF Moding Maniak. That will be the first and last time I will be referring to myself in the third person in this video for the sake of my sanity. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Let's hit that play button. Let's speed things up. Let's go 6 times speed. Seems about right. Straight off the bat here for Flow, we've got a factory first up and also a bunch of power gens queued up and a single loyalist bot. Where is that? I guess it's going to scout. Over here we have myself reclaiming that mass you get on entering the map, which is I highly recommend you always do because there's no reason not to. Over here, Flow has done exactly the same with an engineer. Queued up some mass extractors and the adjacencies for them. Over here, as you can see, I've gone power heavy first, got 1 mass extractor, and then gone into air. This assault bot, it is moving. Yep, there it is. That's where it's going. And over here, I've sent a single spy drone to get that all-important scouting information to find out whether my opponent is going for land or air, or just having a gay old time like you would. Up in the top here, we do have some walling off, and I do mean walling off by the exact phrase itself, as these walls themselves aren't auto-targeted by units, as I find out a little bit later in the game. You need to target them individually and remove them. So path blocking, they do extremely well. That assault bot went down horribly against my ACU. And here we have queued up more power generators, preparing for adjacencies, a single research station queued up, and a little forward operation going down here for Flow, bringing his ACU out, much like I have myself. I do in fact see this on my radar, and he himself, I assume, would see it on his ACU's radar also. Oh no, he's got a radar installation right there. And a single air defense. That is a wonderful air defense. No shields up. I'm not sure. No add-ons for any of these factories so far. 2 more land factories queued up. We do have research going on with their accompanying adjacencies. And my god, do adjacencies help. As you can see here, I'm not doing such a thing, but I highly recommend doing it in the future because having 8 T1 power generators granting adjacency to research stations pretty much grants you a 50% boost to research income on those stations. So you're getting 1.5 research stations for the price of 1, and you always need power, so it's very cost effective that way. The only problem with power generators surrounding anything these days, however, is they are volatile, and we shall see how that plays out later. No spoilers. We shall see how that plays out. A single shield generator up. We got a couple point defense here, and a nice amassment of assault box. The Audax here basically acts as the tank, the tier 1 tank, a beefier unit than the loyalist assault bot. Assault bot's main function are more so harassing. They're supposed to have faster movement speed, deal a little bit more damage, but are not tanky. However, the loyalists for tier 1 for Cybran don't have the speed that a mech marine has, unfortunately. So hopefully that changes in the future. As you can see here, things slowing down on my side of the map. Not a lot going on. I'm trying to queue up things. However, I did cock block my economy. And yes, I just used that phrase to describe my economy. In terms of mass, I pretty much ran out because I queued up so many power generators. So in turn, I've gone and queued up a whole bunch of tier 1 mass converters. What I generally like to do with mass converters is once they're built, I cycle through them once to get that lump sum of mass from power, and then just stick them on fabrication for the remainder of their lifespan. Obviously, you can't use both at the same time for balancing reasons. We do here have an ACU harassment going in, taking out... actually, not taking out much of anything. There's the shield, goes down. However, saved by a single research a tech that I researched into, which was adding area of effect, greater area of effect damage to my ACU, pretty much almost saving me in that engagement, allowing me to take out a larger number of bots per shot. So increase in DPS, basically. We do here going down tier 2 power generators, which is, wow, we're at the 18-minute mark, so he's Flo definitely has teched into structures more likely than anything else, and those research stations really doing their work. Here you can see I've only started to get my 5th, and plonking down more factories, making a huge mistake here on my behalf, as we will find out later on. I apologize if I spoil by saying later on, but I know what's going to happen because I played the game, so it's hard not to give spoilers, but I'll do the best I can not to. And my spy drones slowly got demolished by a single anti-air unit. Structure, point defense, whatever you want to call them. Here we've got some silver-tide tanks being brought up, stopping the production of a single factory. And we've got some tier 1 bombers being produced here out of these 2 air factories. Another engagement going here for Flo. I'm not too sure what the purpose of that one was, but it's still cost effective because he's got a recycler reclaiming all those dead bodies. Always a good time, and mass in general is a good time. Tier 2 mass converters up already, which is really quick. I do believe on the tech tree, he pointed out after the game that it was faster to get tier 2 mass converters than it was to get the tier 2 upgrade for mass extractors. So I assume it was much more cost effective and allowed him to make a huge leap in economy over myself, being able to, as we can possibly see, I'm not too sure at the moment, he may be upgrading, believe he is upgrading his factories to tier 2 at this point. And here you can see my derpness of single bombing run, attacking the generator instead of the research, which what I primarily wanted to aim for. And as you can see, how volatile tier 1 power generators are not too bad, but they still do the work in just exploding everything that's connected to it, really. As you can see here, we've got my tier 1 tanks moving out for an attack, basically trying to do all sorts of harassment early on to demoralize my opponent, which did not work. It did not work. Flo kept his head and he maintained his production. He saw this attack coming from his radar installation. He put up his tier 2 rocket bots, have a nice range, really nice range actually, and a decent splash on them themselves, and the adapters which act as both a shield, anti-air, and anti-missile. So a huge multi-purpose unit. And basically, tier 2 is the only tier that you end up being able to build mobile shield generators. So if you don't have much to counter it, which here I don't, they can really come and nip you in the butt, as we will see very shortly. We do see a bit of prodding and poking here. However, the shield generators, tier 1 shield generators, basically doing their work here, not taking much of any damage from these tier 2 units, possibly needing to be nerfed in a future update. But there are 4 of them, so I suppose the damage may be spread out over all of them as well. Again, he's just accumulating tier 2 rockets and adapters. We do have some Loyalist Reborns, and the engagement here just absolutely bursting through that defense. Luckily, he did indeed give me enough time, Flo, to get out some tier 1 gunships. After taking out the adapters, the rest weren't too difficult to mop up. Only 6 research. I'm amazed at the amount of strength that adjacency gives to research. And if you're wondering how research works now, your research can't really be spammed early on. It's gained over time, periodically through the match at certain time intervals. All research stations will gain veterancy and be more effective. So the game progresses at a static pace in terms of research veterancy. And here we do have another engagement. Luckily for me, putting up that tier 2 prototype defense, the splash doing its work, not being focused down by the opposing forces, saving my butt once again. Units unfortunately derp a lot in SOPCOM 2, not taking out what you want to take out. But in this case, I do believe he was targeting shields on purpose. However, they've gone straight back up. We do have another engagement from myself to try and remove this forward expansion here, taking out those tier 2 power generators and cleaning up the rest of the forces here. However, we do have quite a large, kind of scary amount of Loyalist Reborns being produced here. Nothing a whole lot, just harass and taking out mass extractors. However, not really tiered up, so it's not a huge loss, I suppose. Those tier 2 prototype defense, the splash doing their work on those air units. Coming around with my tier 1 Silvertides again. However, at this point, when I saw this on my radar, I knew exactly what was going to happen. He had researched the jump jets for his loyalists, and I just did not have the firepower to hold it back. Those shields on the adapters just absolutely there was no way of getting through to his loyalists, and they ended up pretty much mopping up the rest of the base. I do, however, in turn, try and send this attack, and does deal a decent amount of damage to the economy in terms of taking out almost all of these, a few of the mass converters. And here, as you can see, my ACU is going to try and redeem me somehow. At this point in the game, however, guys, it is definitely 100% GG in Flo's favor. Great back and forth banter as it were, between both of us. I was just blown away by his adaptiveness throughout the entire game, not losing his cool, keeping his production going, keeping on top of his economy, and rebuilding where needed. That lonely fortified artillery desperately trying to deal some havoc. And as you can see here by the pause icon, this is the countermeasures put in place against ACU rushing, where you'll continually, pretty much your attack and movement speed is reduced by over half, just by a crazy amount. However, I thought previously that the countermeasure, you'll get a little prompt on your screen saying your UEF is engaging someone with countermeasures, and you'll basically keep pausing and unpausing continuously. I did believe that this was only to prevent early game ACU. Maybe it's permanent throughout the entire game, or the rush buffer, whatever you want to call it, is after an hour mark, because it was 47 minutes into the game. So I thought I would be able to walk into his base and suicide myself, taking out whatever I could. However, that was not the case. That's the game, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing it. Leave comments in the comment section below if you have any questions about anything, really. I'd love to get back to you on those wonderful questions. Description below, you'll find my email, modingmaniak@gmail.com. Send your replays to me, guys. Find a friend. Find a random person on the Steam group who's got the same version as you. Follow tutorials on either Overrator's video or mine. Make sure you've got that hash, that good old hash, correct. Make sure it's clean in the store, guys. Keep everything nice and clean. Anyway, I'm Cybran on here. Like this video if you liked it. dislike it if you dislike it. Subscribe for more replays coming up in the future, mod overviews, that sort of great thing. I really appreciate all the support everyone's given over the past week or 2 weeks since I've started putting content back up. It's really, really great. And I'll also put in the description below, you'll also find the generic path to where you'll find your replays after you save them. And normally, after each game, anyway, the game saves the last replay that was the last game that was played. Okay, that's it. I wish you all a good night, because we all sleep sometime. A peace!